Hi guys, it's the economy stupid, or more precisely in this day and age, it's the cost of living crisis stupid. So Donald Trump has discovered a new word, affordability, and it seems that he believes that the Republicans can hold on to power if they keep talking about affordability, but he doesn't seem to understand the problem with being an incumbent if affordability is slipping away from people. Have a listen to this.
Talk about the cost of Thanksgiving and the cost of living through Thanksgiving and enjoying Thanksgiving. For Joe Biden, it was 25% more than it is for me at a later time. Our energy costs are way down. Our groceries are way down. Everything is way down. And the press doesn't report it. The press reports whatever the con people say. You know, I call the Democrats con men and women. They make up numbers. But when you look at 25% reduction in costs for Thanksgiving between Biden and me, meaning this administration, that's a tremendous number. It's the biggest reduction in cost in the history of that chart or whatever it is they do. They do a synopsis of everything. They cover every element of Thanksgiving meals. 25% down. So I don't want to hear about the affordability because right now we're much less. If you look at energy, we're getting close to $2 a gallon gasoline. With Biden, it was $4.50, $5. Another thing, inflation. We had the worst inflation in the history of our country. Now we have virtually no inflation at all. It's down at a very low number and a very normal number. So the affordability is much better with the Republicans. The only problem is the Republicans don't talk about it. And Republicans should start talking about it and use their heads because we have great numbers. We have and they're going to only get better when all these jobs open up, all these factories open up that are being built all over our country. We are building auto plants. We're building AI plants. We're leading in AI over China and everybody else. When all of these plants start opening, we're going to have a revolution, a positive revolution, economic revolution like never before. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.
It's just mind-numbing listening to this guy. So he wants the Republicans to start talking more about affordability. Does he want to sink the Republican Party? Does he actually understand that the more they talk about affordability, the more they're sinking their chances? Because Donald Trump can talk about, well, look, the cost of Thanksgiving is down 25%. He doesn't actually have any evidence to support that claim. Nobody has actually presented any evidence to back that up. But he can claim these things. But as people go into their supermarkets and buy a turkey or buy stuffing or buy the food to celebrate Thanksgiving, they're going to see the prices are up. They'll remember, especially if people have tight budgets. If we're talking about rich people who don't care about the cost of living crisis, don't feel the cost of living crisis, they're not going to be hey, wait a minute, last year things were a lot cheaper. Now things are more expensive. Now, some things may be cheaper, but generally, things are more expensive. Donald Trump mentioned here about inflation. He doesn't seem to understand how inflation works. Again, inflation means prices are going up. He was saying when under Joe Biden, it was record inflation. Now, it's almost nothing. It's like, he's on the one hand suggesting that prices are down generally, all prices are pretty much down, but at the same time inflation is under control. There's very little inflation, almost no inflation. Which is it? There's deflation, which prices have dramatically dropped everywhere, or there's inflation where prices are actually going up. Now, the Republican Party, if they embrace the idea of affordability, they are sunk because they need to talk about other things. And this is what they have been doing for decades, distracting the public with shiny things like immigration. Let's focus on immigration. Keep talking about immigration. Don't talk about the cost of living crisis. Don't talk about the economy, because as soon as you do, you're going to sink us. And we keep saying this. People will vote for whoever if they're not happy with the incumbent, if they don't feel that their life is getting better, generally economically, they're going to vote you out. Doesn't matter who you are, they're going to vote for the alternative. As I said, when it came to Joe Biden and the Democrats, people did not feel their lives were getting better. Their lives were probably a lot better than when Donald Trump was in charge, but they didn't feel that their lives were getting better. So they voted for this guy again. And the same applies to Nigel Farage. People will vote for Nigel Farage. Doesn't matter what you say about him. Doesn't matter how you represent him in the media. People will vote for him if they're not happy with the incumbent Labour Party. And this is the problem Donald Trump has. He thinks he's onto a winner here. Let's talk about the cost of living crisis. Let's talk about affordability. But the more you do, the more you put it in people's minds that it's not getting better. And you're not in a position to make it better for people. Because he talked here about manufacturing. The new manufacturing that's coming is not going to create lots of jobs. It's going to create some jobs, very highly paid jobs, but it's not going to return massive job market, massive manufacturing to the United States, where they created hundreds of thousands of jobs, millions of jobs for the working class. The working class are on their own. Donald Trump is not putting in policies that will improve their lives. He's cut funding. His administration has cut funding for the most vulnerable in society. For people who are just struggling, who are just getting by, who are struggling to get by. Those people are worse off now. And as soon as they cop on that they're worse off, as soon as they realize, hey, wait a minute, things are not getting better for me, they're going to vote the Republicans out. Unless Donald Trump changes the situation, changes the electoral situation, and people are not allowed to vote. But if the system remains as it is, the electoral system, the Republicans are going to get a bloody nose next year during the midterms. If people do not feel their lives are getting better. And if Donald Trump talks about the cost of living, he talks about affordability and encourages his members of his party to do the same, it's over. Because you have to improve people's lives. And you can try and spin it as much as you want. You can talk about the fastest growing nation in the world or whatever. But if people on the ground don't feel the situation is improving, they're going to kick you out. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. And I'll see you in the next video.